Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I'm so glad that you could join us because today is a bit of a different experience from something that I've done before because I am currently behind on my reading endeavors and my goal that I have set up for the year, which means that we have to get the ball rolling. I made the goal at the beginning of the year to read 52 books and I've currently read 21 as of this morning when I finished one. With about 103 days left in the year as of starting this video, I have 31 books that I need to read, and I did the math, and that means I need to read about one book every 3 days. Now, that seems decently doable for me, but I want to speed up the process because there are some books that take longer to read. So I am going to be sitting down for 24 hours and reading. That is it. For the next 24 hours, all I will be doing is reading. Now, obviously, I can't just do that for 24 hours. I've seen people do this challenge before where you spread out the 24 hours. So basically, it's going to be like a weekend of reading is my plan. But I will be setting a timer on my computer, and I will be getting 24 hours in of reading throughout this entire weekend. It is currently about 4:30 in the afternoon because I did have work this morning. It is a Friday, and then I have work again tomorrow night. So tomorrow morning is going to be the majority of my reading time, and I don't work on Sundays. So we will get 24 hours or maybe 48 hours. I don't know. We will get a good amount of reading in. I also, on my computer, have a fall TBR that I want to tackle because a lot of it is both on my Kindle app and physical. But since I have to record this on my phone, I'm going to be sticking to my physical TBR for right now, which is here behind me. So let's see. The first thing I want to conquer is the Summer I Turned Pretty series. I've been wanting to read this for a while, and after starting the TV show again and finishing it by this point, I decided that I needed to actually know what the books were like. So I'm halfway through the first book, and I need to finish it, and the rest of the series. The rest of these books are books in series or books that I want to read that I just haven't picked up in a while that I need to crank through, but also it's in case I need relief from reading cheesy romance books, this is my fantasy-esque reads, if that makes any sense. I do have a romance series that I'm reading on my phone. I'm currently reading through the Kings of Sin, I don't remember, by I don't remember who it's by. I'm currently reading through that series, and so I am on book 4 of 7 right now, but not all of them are out. So we're going to have to take this one moment at a time. But I'm in my little reading corner that I've made for myself. Little backrest here, blanket set down. And I am going to finish reading this book as of right now. We are about this far through. I'm going to put the YouTube video that I was watching back on, and we're going to get to reading. Let's go. I'm currently on chapter 22 of this book, so we'll see how quickly I can get through this. Well, this is going well. ish. I got about an hour and a minute into reading before my sister needed help watching her kids. She went shopping. Preface, my sister's in town. She doesn't live here, but she was shopping as like a shopping trip and needed help watching her kids, basically, because they were bored because I had sat in the car for 3 hours. So I helped her watch the kids, and then I came home and I've been decompressing on my phone ever since. And now I'm gonna get back to reading and watching Gilmore Girls, but I wanted to give you a little update on where I'm at now in my book. Hold on, I'm looking to see what chapter I'm at. At chapter 30 of like 46 or whatever in the book. And it's currently 9 o'clock at night, so we're gonna read for a few more hours. Timer made it to 2 hours and 10 minutes. By the time I finished The Summer I Turned Pretty, I gave it about 3 stars. It's not my favorite book, but it wasn't terrible. It was definitely rough to get through, in my opinion. But it's currently 10:50 at night, and I'm going to get ready for bed because I'm a little uncomfortable. If I read any tonight, it's gonna be on my phone. I'll time it the best I can, but we're gonna pick up tomorrow and get a good majority of reading in. Okay, the timer is now up to about 4 hours. We're doing so great. It's currently Saturday. It's almost 4 o'clock, and I haven't really read much except for this morning. I read some of my book as well as last night, like I told you after, the last time we talked. But I forgot that the Texas Tech versus Utah game was on today at 11. So we watched that, and I get really invested in the TV, so I did not read my book. And I've been kind of scrolling on my phone ever since because I have work later. So I'm gonna set a timer. I'm gonna read on my phone because that's the book I'm interested in right now. And the majority of this reading adventure will be tomorrow when I have literally nothing to do but read. So let's get back to reading, basically. Alrighty, y'all. It is currently midnight and I just got home from work. I obviously haven't done any reading since the last time I talked to you, and work maybe like 30 minutes or something. But I'm quite energized because I ate dinner late and I had a Red Bull. So I'm gonna shower, get unready, fully, get ready for bed. And then I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna try to time it on my computer still and remember to turn it off as soon as I put my phone down to go to bed. But I'm gonna keep reading what's on my phone. I don't think I've picked up another physical book yet, but I have some things on my shelf that I'm gonna pick up tomorrow. I really haven't gotten past the 4-hour mark, so it's not great, but we're gonna keep up with the plan of 24 hours, especially if I can't sleep tonight. So that's my update. Okay, update. It's currently 3 o'clock on Sunday. As you can tell, I haven't really done much but read today. The timer is currently at 7 hours and 48 minutes. And for some reason, I thought that 24 hours would be...
Take him to the ground.
sorry. I thought that 24 hours would, for some reason, not feel as tedious as it is. I'm going to keep reading and timing myself until I hit that 24-hour mark, but it may not be a consecutive 24 hours, especially since yesterday I had to work. Today I ended up sleeping in because work took a while and I couldn't sleep last night. So I think if I can get up to 12 hours today, even maybe 14, I can do the rest tomorrow. Hopefully. Okay, that's it. That's my goal. The timer is slowly coming to the 13th hour of our reading, and I have picked back up The Prisoner's Throne. I probably got like 50% of the way through it a while ago, and I just picked up where I left off. And now I'm on chapter 23 with not that much left to go. So this should be another one that I finish here shortly. And that's probably gonna be it for the night. Alrighty, y'all, I'm back with the mini microphone, and I just wanted to give you an update on where I'm at reading wise. It's Monday, I'm off work. It is like almost 5 o'clock, so we're gonna see how much we can read. I know I set a goal of a certain amount of hours, and I don't think it's gonna happen. I did read a few hours, maybe like an hour this morning, so the timer's currently at 15 hours and 15 minutes. I also last night finished reading The Prisoner's Throne. I started reading this a really long time ago, so I was finishing the last half of it. I think I already told you this. I gave that book I think 4 stars out of 5, 4 out of 5 stars. It wasn't my favorite, obviously, since I couldn't finish it in a decent amount of time. I do think I was as enthralled with it after picking it up as I thought I was going to be, so that was very, very unexpected. Now I'm just finishing a book on my phone. I'm about 85% of the way through with it, I believe. And then I'm going to pick up one of the books on my TBR shelf that I have over here. So I'm going to finish reading what's on my phone and then be back with y'all when I decide to pick up another book.
Mm. On to pick the next book. I have my lovely physical TBR sitting right here, including the rest of the Summer I Turned Pretty series and quite a few fantasy books. I have the timer is currently at 16 hours and 47 minutes. So basically, I have a lot of time left. Um, Honestly, I might be slightly influenced by my random Instagram algorithm to read Bride. I used to, I don't know if y'all had these phases where you would read those like pop up ad stories that popped up on like Instagram and Facebook. And they were like really cheap stories that you paid per chapter to read, and they were like werewolf, like romances. Anyways, definitely read a few of those. But that's what this Allie Hazelwood book is about, and it's very not about, but that's what it like compares to. And it's not like her normal books. I love her writing style, and her other books that are more like science romances. So I've been a little standoffish to read this, but I did buy it because I love her as an author. So I think I'm gonna read this. We'll see. I'll open it up and I'll see if I like it. That's it. I don't know if you can see this timer. 16:47. I'm gonna hit start, and I was lapping every time I finished a book, and I forgot to do it last night. So second lap includes reading 2 books. It took me 2 hours to finish the last half of The Summer I Turned Pretty. It took me 14 hours to read the entirety of King of Sloth, and as well as finish the second half of what's the Prisoner's Throne. My goodness, I'm really bad with book names apparently. Um, and honestly, it's been going better than I thought it would, because in the past it took me about 3 days to finish a book. So finishing 3 books in technically 3 days is pretty good. Let's open Bride though. The only thing that is different than this book than any book I've ever read is it's about a vampire marrying an alpha werewolf. I'll read the back for you. A vampire bride and an alpha werewolf form a dangerous alliance in this enthralling new paranormal romance. Misery Lark, daughter of a powerful vampire councilman, is an outcast. But vampire is spelled with a Y? I'm confused. Her days of living anonymously among the humans are over. She has been called upon to uphold an alliance where the vampires and their mortal enemies. Oh, an alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Wares. Wares are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Lo Morland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice or feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every movement that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience, reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances and everything to do with the only thing she's ever cared about. And she is willing to do whatever it takes to what get, get back what's hers. Whoa. There's so much more context to this book than I thought there would be. First off, Marriage of Convenience is probably one of my favorite book tropes, because it's a mix between like forced proximity and enemies to lovers, but not like actual enemies. But it's like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it's one of my favorites. Learning about politics and like all those things in this like made up world is very enthralling to me, but kind of like overwhelming to me sometimes, so I might not love this book. But the twist of like her having her own secret, iconic, honestly. Under the prologue, it has like a little brief under it, and it says, "This marriage is going to be a problem. She is going to be a problem." Uh, Honestly, iconic. Whoa. I'm gonna have to read that again. This war of ours, the one between the vampires and the wearers, began several centuries ago with brutal escalations of violence, culminating amid flowing torrents of vari-colored blood, and ended in a whimper of buttercream cake on the day I met my husband for the first time, which, as it happens, was also the day of our wedding. Not quite the stuff of childhood dreams. Then again, I'm no dreamer. I only ever contemplated marriage once, back in the gloomy days of my childhood. Following a few too harsh punishments and a poorly executed assassination attempt, Serena and I concocted plans for a grand escape, which is going to involve pyrotechnics based diversions, stealing our math tutor's cart, wow, and flipping off our caregivers in the rearview mirror. Okay, this is iconic, and that, just like two paragraphs, is probably the definition of why I love Allie Hazelwood. It's like the little things and the quips that she comes up with. It's like reading a comedy, but the book is not a comedy. I don't know if that makes any sense. 11 plus 14 is 25. Okay, she's 25 in this book. He's an alpha, Miss Lark, too busy to meet. Busy with his pack, Miss Lark. I pictured him in a home gym, tirelessly working on his abs, and shrugged. I like how that's all she pictures of this man. That's so funny. I hope they vaccinated you for rabies while they were at it. That's funny. Apparently, she's been married before. She made the comment. Her dad said, "There is no going back, Misery. Once the hand fasting is complete, you will be his wife." She replies with, "I know." Some other things on the inside. "I've done this before, remember?" Dang. Alrighty, y'all. We have officially come to the end of our 24-hour reading challenge. It has lasted over the course of, I would say, 4 days.
to read 24 hours long. I would show you the timer, but I did in fact forget to restart it when I was reading in the middle of the night last night, but I stayed up way past my bedtime to finish the 24-hour mark. I also started this book. It's called Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I have loved every single book Ali Hazelwood has written, and I am literally like 50% of the way through this book after starting it yesterday. So it's definitely one of my new loves as far as books go. It is a paranormal romance. So it's like vampires and werewolves, and that's the world. So if you're not into that stuff, you may not like this book, but her other books are like about women in STEM and other just situations like that. But very, very good author, and I highly recommend it. I would say that this challenge was a success, mainly because I've finished 4 books, especially ones that I've been putting off for quite some time, like a year to finish. And it's kind of put me back in the rhythm of picking up a book in my free time instead of scrolling on my phone, if that makes any sense. So I highly recommend this challenge for yourself, just to set some goals, but also I will be doing this again in the future, and I would like to do this within like a weekend and maybe with like some friends. I've seen people do that before where they like just sit down for 12 hours a day, make it like a vacation kind of. I unfortunately do not have that luxury right now because I'm saving every penny I got, and life gets in the way. So I'm glad that I could share this with y'all, and I hope you enjoyed my little 4-in-1 reading vlog. I didn't really share much about the books that I was actually reading, so if you want a review on those, let me know. I can do like a September what I read. I think that'd be pretty interesting. Anyways, I'm going to close out this video here. Thank you so much for watching with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, lovelies.